Hi guys, just a little bit of a video recording for you all just to talk you through my current Game Week 1 team and just my thoughts on each player and why I've got them in there at the moment, and where I might change coming Game Week 1. This should be a really sort of short, punchy video, go through every player briefly and how things might change, so I hope you enjoy it. If you guys could drop a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and comment in the chat anything you change about my team or anything that you particularly like about it, would be much appreciated. So in goal, I've actually gone with Matt Ryan and Nyland as my two keepers. Nyland can change for any 4.0. I don't expect to have to play my second goalkeeper. Ryan will be in there every week, as I think a lot of you are going for, and I like that as a tactic. Matt Ryan is a different pick to a lot of people. A lot of people have McCarthy or Ramsdale in goal. I really liked the sort of way Brighton play when it comes to defending at times last season. They've got Ben White from Leeds in to sort of strengthen again there, as well as another signing from Ajax in defence. So I think they should look much better defensively. And I definitely think there's room for improvement on what they were last year. Ryan in at 4.5 is just a good option to be going in with there. In defence, so I've gone with Trent Alexander-Arnold, as the majority of us have. He just gets forward, he's always involved. Not much more can be said about that. Walker-Peters in defence. The reason I've gone with Walker-Peters and Ryan over maybe, people having Lamptey and McCarthy is I really like... We know Walker-Peters is going to play every game, and I like how far forward he can get playing that sort of right back, potentially wing back role as well. He is a young talent, and I definitely think he's got a lot of creativity in him getting up that right hand side of the pitch. Vinagre, Wolves conceded just 20 shots in their last 8 games last season since the restart. That's 5 less than anyone else in the league, including City, Liverpool, United, Everone, Burnley as well, people who thought defended really well. So 4.5 for a left back / left wing back. Even if they're not as good defensively this season without Johnny and Doherty, it's still a great value to be had in him. Taylor in on the bench at the moment to come back in after game week 1. Really strong fixtures for Burnley, so if we just have a quick look for them there. After sort of that game week 1, they play Leicester away, but then Southampton, Newcastle, West Brom, Brighton, Crystal Palace, all in their first 9. We know that Burnley can actually keep a clean sheet against anyone, and you can't really turn down a Burnley defender at 4.5. Johnson is my 4.0 defender in at the moment. I don't like that very much. I actually don't think any of the 4.0 defenders are very good options this year. I will be trying to squeeze that up to a 4.5, but if I don't, then it potentially is either Johnson or Ferguson or Mitchell at Crystal Palace that are going to go with it. None of them really, you can't be relying on any of those 3 at the moment, but it's just Johnson who's in there at the moment. Into the midfield, so we start with Mane on the left-hand side. I've currently got Mane in over Salah. His pre-season form is much stronger, and Salah's just not looked quite on the boil. He's tried to force it a lot at the end of last season, and in pre-season, a lot of it's gone through Mane. Now, this is partly because Trent's been injured, so a lot of it's gone through Robertson rather than playing it up that right-hand side, but Mane has looked really involved much more than Salah, so I've gone with him as a bit of a differential. Aubameyang in there, his goal involvement is crazy. Over 50% of all the goals that Arsenal scored when Aubameyang is on the pitch, he's involved in. It's at a 52% goal involvement rate. He has great opening fixtures, Fulham away, and then West Ham at home, who have looked really poor, as well as Sheffield United at home in game week 4. He will be my captain for at least one of those first 2 games, so I really like him as an option, and he will not be going anywhere. Dele Alli is an interesting one, a bit of a differential, currently only owned by 2.5%. I really like what he can offer, and I think having Højbjerg in the team for Spurs will mean he's not forced to play that deeper lying role. He can play that attacking role, and I had him in my team before watching the Spurs All or Nothing documentary, but that has really enforced his place in my team. And I think $1 million saving over Son is a really good place to save money on him, so I like him a lot. I do like Kane as the number 1 Spurs asset, but 2.5 million over Ali. I'm just not sure in game week 1 that I can afford to be going with Kane. Greenwood is in my team, will be on my bench game week 1 as they don't have a fixture. Looking elsewhere to be playing others like Souček, who I'll get onto in a minute, in game week 1. Their fixtures are just really nice, and there's not much you can do to ignore a Man U asset. You'll need one of them come game week 2, 3. I've gone with Greenwood because I really like how much value he can offer. I would love to have Bruno or Martial or Rashford in my team, but Greenwood, if they don't sign someone like Sancho at 7.5, seems like a steal for how involved he is. Goals he scores for that United team. He's not going to score as many as someone like points wise as Bruno, but I just love him for value, and it allows me to fit others into my team. Souček is the current 5 million option in my team. He's currently in quarantine, so I'll have to watch out for that. But it is a player that I really like. He's been underpriced this year. He's always sort of involved. He gets much further forward than the CDM role that he seems to be priced as. So yeah, if he's not available game week 1 this season, he will be a really good player to own. This season, sort of Todd Cantwell, but better in that midfield cheap role. Into the forwards, so I've gone with Timo Werner, as a lot of you have in the front line. I really like what he can offer. He's a very strong player. He's played very well in the Bundesliga, so I really like him. And Chelsea have great opening fixtures. It's worth noting that I prefer Pulisic as a Chelsea asset, but Pulisic unlikely to be fit game week 1. Which is why I've gone with Timo Werner. But $1 million saved on Pulisic if they were both fit would be a no-brainer for me. Che Adams up there with him. I really like Ings and I like Southampton a lot, but I can't afford him. So Che Adams is the next best thing. I think he should be starting every week for them now, and he does look really involved in the last few game weeks of last season. So I'm excited to see what he's going to offer for this season. The last one that we've got in there is Chris Wood. So he will again have to sit on my bench game week 1 if I do decide to go with him. I do really like how involved he is in. He scored 14 goals and got 1 assist in just 29 starts for Burnley last season, which is an attacking return in over 50% of the matches. I think he's a really good value and better than a lot of the 6 million assets that people are picking. I'd much rather have Min than Che Adams or the Mitrovic or the Ayus that you could be going in with him. It's just whether I can afford to have another Burnley asset sitting on my bench in game week 1 when I've got United assets that I will also want to own. So this is how my team is sort of structured at the moment. The players themselves are not set, but the sort of format of it is fairly there. I've got easy ways to get on pretty much anyone at any price point that starts to go really crazy at the start of the season. I've got my cheap forwards, I've got my more premium forwards, I've got my premium mids, my mid-price mid, and then my cheap mids as well there. As well as in defence, it is a bit more cheap, but I don't expect any of those defenders to be essential going into the first few weeks. So the players themselves may not change, so I could do the likes of Adams to Mitrovic and Wood to Calvert-Lewin or things like that, but the pricing and the structure of it is all there. I don't see a large structure change to my team at the moment. So that's sort of all I had. This has been a fairly short video, unlike my live streams, which can be very long. If you guys could hit that subscribe button if you've watched this, as well as dropping a like and then a comment on the video as well would be much appreciated on what you like about my team or anything like that. That would be really appreciated, guys. But I don't have anything more to talk about with you this evening. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.